boxer Arturo Gatti mysteriously died in a Brazilian beach resort. Two private eyes hired to probe his death released their findings.
Cap Lynch contacted myself and Joe 10 months ago. He had very simple instructions. His instructions were this: I want to know the truth. I want to know what happened to Arturo.
With a who's who of experts in tow, they don't pull any punches.
I know that someone is getting away with murder. Arturo Gatti was murdered, and he did not commit suicide that night. The first time you look at these crime scene photos, and you look at that staircase, and you listen to their theory, if you've been doing murder investigation for more than 3 days, you're going to know that he didn't hang himself and fall to the side underneath his head, underneath the kitchen counter. The blood doesn't fit. The instrument used to hang oneself doesn't fit.
They suggest Amanda had the opportunity to murder her husband, and she may have had help.
It's entirely possible there's somebody else with her, assisting her in this thing. Arturo comes back after this night of drama downtown, and Amanda and him have sex. I believe after they had sex, Arturo was pulling his pants up, and somebody hit him in the back of the head with something. And then he gets strangled. Someone strangles him on the floor where he's laying.
The Brazilian detectives dismiss the results.
I know that people were hired to conduct a parallel investigation. Experts that were worth their weight in gold. I say they're hacks. They came here, didn't communicate with anyone, and went on to conduct their own investigation. I would ask a single solitary question. How did you kill her husband? Only that.
Recife homicide. Stick to their guns. Suicide. Isso eu digo com muita certeza. I say that with a lot of confidence and professionalism. No other result would change the conclusion to which we arrived. Yet the probe is enough to convince a Brazilian prosecutor to keep the case open. The chances of anything happening is another question. In the eyes of Brazilian law, Amanda Gatti is innocent. Another blow to the family. A Canadian judge rules Gatti's will, signed shortly before his death.
Oh, the slave.
His fortune belongs to his widow. With her multi-million-dollar inheritance, she opens a store in Montreal and launches her own clothing line.
I just believe that she somehow has an impact, you know? And I feel safe with her, and I think they do the right thing. And I have faith, and I think that justice always ends in the end. So I'm sure the end is going to be, you know, it's going to be good for her. I think it's the same thing.
Arturo's friends and family remain convinced
No, I don't
he didn't
think so.
take
She
his
didn't
own
do that
life.
daredevil thing today.
I'm not letting it go. I'll never let it go until the truth is told. The kid was murdered. Period. And his life was cut short for his money. And nobody's going to tell me different.
I remember Mo saying to me, you know, I fight that I lost because, you know, to get to where I am. And I was like, yeah, I know, but it's different. No, it's the same thing. He said it's the same thing. I had to keep getting up. I had to keep getting back up. Just what happens. If you fall, you do it again. You do it again and again. And that's what he did. And that's what we're trying to do. We've fallen, we've been knocked down. We're going to keep getting up. Because he deserves it.
A long-awaited coroner's report from Quebec says Arturo Gatti died a violent death. Suicide remains a plausible explanation. And while they can't dismiss the conclusions reached by Brazilian authorities, circumstances of his death cannot be determined with certainty. One thing is certain, from this forward, we'll never know his father, and those murder of his letter just made it memories. The mystery of what happened that night in paradise endures. When they left, Rick announced that he had to cut their trip short and go to Mexico City on business.
Kim Bailey dropped him off at the airport. He was taking a flight to Mexico City. She went back to San Diego that day. She brings his car back, parks it right on the street, and leaves the keys in my box. She didn't know where my father was. John's telling me everything's gonna be okay. We're gonna find your father.
The boys filed a missing persons report with the San Diego police.
They didn't want to help us. They thought because of the nature of my father's business that it was very typical for someone like that to be, disappearing, and that he might have been working on a stakeout. They didn't want to help us. Ian was the biggest red flag. Not only being left behind, but not being told.
That's what I want to trust.
And then all of Rick's clothes, toiletries, anything else you expect somebody to take.
Watch when something happened to you or her. They ain't gonna do shit.
Maybe Rick Post, Private Eye, had a lot more secrets
One,
than
because of where
anyone
we
knew.
live. And two, because y'all African American.
Private Eye
That's
in San
fucked up.
Diego thought that something like this was going to happen to Rick Post eventually. But Post has contacts in Mexico. He's a resourceful character. So it's entirely possible that he could be enjoying life on some beach somewhere.
Finally, my shade looks like my skin.
C3, C12.
True Match Foundation by L'Oreal Paris. Now formulated with up to 6 pigments for a most precise match. 99% found there. True Match. True Match by L'Oreal Paris. We're all worth it.
There's DNA, and there's heavy-duty DNA. H DNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD with the bullet power to prove it. No inches of the world. Prepare for glory.
At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, evaluate cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So come explore the ultimate real estate website at coldwellbanker.com.
Time is yours to be closer. In one race, you can cement your legacy. In one weekend, you can carve your own path. In 2 years, you can make thrills more accessible to more people. And in 110 years, Pennzoil can make a motor oil so advanced, the most ambitious among us can trust in nerves. Pennzoil, long may we drive. Available at Advanced Auto Parts.
Baja, Mexico. Unspoiled beaches and laid-back lifestyle. It's like heaven, say those who come here on vacation. It's here divorced father of 4, Rick Post, disappeared without a trace while on a getaway with his girlfriend.
My father's disappeared. But people are worried about, rent and their car payment. My whole life changed.
It's been 4 months. Ian has moved back with his mother. The bills are piling up.
You don't want to lose hope. And I felt like I was further away from finding him. It felt like things were slipping away.
We looked at each other, and there was this blank feeling of, he's not here anymore.
And the only people looking for Rick Post are Ian and his older brother Orion, with a bit of help from girlfriend Kim.
She had been putting up posters, missing person posters.
You
is usually more than an idle threat.
I was the violent crime supervisor in San Diego, and we worked a lot of kidnappings of American citizens in Mexico. The person who called said the person who did the kidnapping was part of an organized crime group, potentially cartel related.
Not far from Baja's idyllic beaches, there's a lawless side to Mexico. Violent gangs are at war with each other and the police. Had Rick tangled with the wrong people during his trip to Baja?
It's extremely rare to get a call like that. We have to decide what happened and who is the victim. So we hit the files.
The first thing the FBI does is they start cross-checking missing person databases. And there's not a phone book worth of adult males who have gone missing here in San Diego over the past 6 months.
They narrow the search to one name, Rick Post.
We now think that Rick Post was not just a missing person. We strongly suspect that Rick Post had been kidnapped. The investigation goes full bore into the disappearance of Rick Post.
People with the FBI in the past.
Rick Post was a confidential informant for the FBI. His alias is Jim Green.
It was scary sometimes. There were some shady things you could talk about and a lot of things you couldn't talk about.
Rick's cases weren't your usual spying on cheating lovers kind of work.
He tells a private investigator that he's working on this plot with the CIA, and they're going to kidnap big cartel guys. If you want to shorten your life, that's a really good way to get a death sentence. My father was nationally recognized as a professional on occult investigations.
One of them was the Heaven's Gate cult in 1997. They gained international attention when 39 members committed suicide in a mansion near San Diego to reach an alien spaceship they thought was trailing behind a comet.
He investigated murderers, rapists, devil worshippers.
Rick Post's personal life wasn't any less complicated. Court files show more than a dozen civil cases filed against him, including a paternity suit.
Women loved Rick Post, and Rick Post loved women. He could talk a broad out of her skivvies on Main Street. Rick Post may have believed that he was James Bond, but to many other private investigators in San Diego, he was more like Austin Powers. He'd been shagging people for years. There are a lot of people that wanted to do Rick Post harm. Not many people thought this was going to end well for Rick Post.
We worked with the family and interviewed Ian and Ryan and Barbara. They knew something had happened, and it was bad. Still, we did not tell them we were working the case as a potential kidnap murder.
Kimberly Bailey and Rick drove down to Mexico together, and then Rick insisted that she drop him off at the airport for an unknown purpose. She then drove his car back across the border and parked at his houses.
Next, the FBI listens to the voice message Rick left 4 days after he went to Baja.
It was clear to listen to that voicemail that he was under duress when he made that phone call.
The question is, what happened to Rick Post after his girlfriend dropped him off at the airport?
Something bad happened to him. That's really what else to do.
Ned Buck and his partner dig into Rick's cases and talk to employees at IntelliSource. The one man who has been helping to find Rick, his business associate and friend John Kruger, now won't cooperate.
John wanted to speak to his attorney. We're standing there while he was speaking to his attorney. And then he said to me, "My attorney wants to speak with you." He handed me the telephone. On the phone, a female says, "Hello, this is Colin Cusick." I realized that's the defense attorney who called into the U.S. Attorney's office because they said they had knowledge of an individual who was kidnapped and murdered.
The guy standing in front of them
nursing MS, and a lot going on. That's why my doctor and I chose Kesimpta.
Kesimpta is different. It's the only B-cell treatment for RMS you can take it home once a month. Kesimpta has proven superior at reducing the rate of relapses, active lesions, and slowing disability progression versus Abashio.
For me, a once-a-month treatment just works for my schedule.
Don't take Kesimpta if you have hepatitis B, and tell your doctor if you have had it, as it could come back. Kesimpta can cause serious side effects, including infections. While no cases of PML were reported in RMS clinical trials, it could happen. Tell your doctor if you have or plan to have vaccines, or if you are or plan to become pregnant. Kesimpta may cause a decrease in some types of antibodies. The most common side effects are upper respiratory tract infection, headache, and injection reactions.
When I'm ready, I'll spend less than 1 minute a month taking Kesimpta. I'll spend the rest of my time. It's up to me.
Ask your doctor about treating RMS with Kesimpta.
If you're ready to update the style of your kitchen, give a full remodel with all new cabinets. Enhance can make over your existing cabinet with a new color, new style, and new functionality. Enhance can install a new style of doors on your existing boxes and refinish everything to a new color, giving you a completely different style, as well as improving functionality with pull-out trash and other organizational accessories. Get a cabinet makeover in less time and for less money than traditional cabinet remodels. Enhance, wood refinishing done right. Sex, scams, and shady characters. It reads like a Sam Spade detective novel. Seasoned private eye Rick Post goes missing in Baja. The FBI gets a tip that he's been kidnapped and murdered. His partner may know something, but climbs up. And no one really knows if Rick Post is alive or dead.
If anybody could have come back to life, it's Rick Post. He'd been in tough spots before. He played fast with dangerous people before. Maybe he's going to stage the miracle comeback.
The FBI's only lead, Rick's friend and business associate John Kruger, the man who called the FBI anonymously, now won't talk. Kruger is no stranger to the FBI. He tipped authorities off about some shady business dealings surrounding Astropulse, a company owned by none other than Rick Post's client and girlfriend, Kim
We
Bailey.
need to know when that was
Kim
going to
Bailey ran a
happen.
holistic medicine company selling various devices to cure various ailments, all of which were not medically certified. Many of these black boxes that allegedly cured cancer. She made millions of dollars selling these quack devices, preying on the most vulnerable and desperate people, people who were dying of cancer, and she would charge them thousands of dollars for a device that was going to magically cure them of their disease, which of course did not work.
The more they dig, the more suspicious they become.
She was just a little crazy. Kim was thinking people were placing bugs. She would never speak to people. She would whisper to people. She didn't like using telephones. There was a lot of things that we didn't really know about her, even though I spent a lot of time around her. She always seemed kind of frantic.
The FBI go looking for Kim at her sprawling ranch in Fallbrook, 45 minutes outside of San Diego.
Fallbrook is this really cool place. It's got big, expansive ranches. You can live far back from the road. You can surround yourself with agriculture. Fallbrook would be a pretty good place to go and hide.
The day the FBI came to the ranch, my wife and I are driving our truck, and the FBI pops out of the bushes. There's two of them. They're holding up FBI badges and saying, FBI, FBI, Kim Bailey, Kim Bailey. They thought my wife, Lana, was Kim Bailey because Lana has blonde hair. She says, no. They said, well, we're investigating Richard Post. Kim, can we talk to? Bruce Berlowen and his wife Lana work for Kim. But they're more than mere employees.
Lana said she had become somewhat of a confidant of
Shutdown because she pressed him. So this.
And what she says next stops them cold. She says Kim didn't take Rick to Baja out of love, but out of hate.
She felt how she kidnapped the man from love to Mexico.
According to Lana, Rick's partner John Kruger told Kim that Rick was stealing money from her and dating other women.
Not mine.
King Bailey asked John, is there anyone you can get to help kidnap Rick to get my money back? Lana told the interviewing agents John Kruger reached out to Humberto.
If you want someone to do your dirty work, Uribe is your guy.
He definitely has a history of violence and kidnappings, and he was an available gun for hire.
Humberto Uribe's a scary guy. The FBI says he is believed to have ties with organized crime. If you know anything about organized crime in Mexico, you don't want to mess with those guys.
According to Lana, John introduces Kim to the Mexican gun for hire.
They're John in San Diego, and they make a plan to lure Rick Post down to Mexico. Lana claims Kimberly Bailey got out of the car and went into a pharmacy. Uribe was there right next to where the car was parked. Two of Uribe's accomplices grabbed Post and drove the car. Bailey drives his car back and parked it at his house and left the keys in his mailbox for his son to later find. Rick Post was held by Uribe and his accomplices in an abandoned house. They duct taped him to a chair.
According to Lana, a few days later, Kim went to the house and confronted Rick about his cheating ways.
She says I slapped him so hard. His head like a ball. No reason for him. She told me even little details. They interrogate him and torture him. Love to. Naira. I saw she's sticky.
It's an unbelievable tale,
Let's piece this together.
and it's about to become even more bizarre.
Right at the end of the interview, Lana says, "Tell Nick I said hello."
The only Nick they know is their co-worker, Special Agent Nick McKee. How does Kim Bailey's ranch employee Lana know an FBI agent?
No one has a clue who she is. No one has a clue until Nick McKean says, "Oh my God, you know who that is."
Kim's friend Lana is Svetlana Bogorodnikova, a famous Russian spy that McKean has tangled with in the past. She spent 9 years in jail, convicted of espionage in a scandal that included the seduction of an FBI agent.
My husband find him waiting, and I fall in love with him. I want to open the ranch.
She cracked open the case. Now we need Kim Bailey's voice to tell us those details.
It's unbelievable. They're using a convicted Russian spy to prove their case. Good luck with that.
At Blue Bunny, we test to make sure our mini treats are crunchy and mini. Thor! Sorry. So, does it feel mini enough for you? Approved. Blue Bunny, we make fun.
Margarita.
Being in the wild is the best when you're with your family. You go to all kinds of interesting sections. Go fish, go surf, dive. I think I'll probably be coming up here the rest of my life.
It's been more than a year since San Diego Private Eye, Rick Post, disappeared in Baja, Mexico. Now, incredibly, a former Russian spy may be the FBI's best shot at finding the father of four.
Svetlana wanted to help, but we had to be extremely careful. She's a convicted espionage subject, and at first, most people did not want to